Hello, I'm Joe Walensky, and I'm here to talk about the Writers UA East Conference for Content Pros. It's coming up in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm the program manager for the event, as well as the principal of Walensky and Associates, and I get the chance to talk with our many speakers and find out what they're up to. And so today I am speaking with Nate Wolf. Hello, Nate. How are you doing today?
Hey, doing great, Joe. Thanks for having me.
And I'm speaking from Seattle, downtown Seattle, actually. Today, where are you talking to us from?
I am from Raleigh, North Carolina today, specifically in the Research Triangle Park.
Well, Nate, for people that may not be familiar with you by name, why don't you talk a little bit about your background and what types of things you're involved with now?
Sure, absolutely. So I've been in the technical communication industry for a little over 10 years now, getting started with the Masters of Science in Technical Communication program at NC State in Raleigh, where I did some internships and really got my foot in the door in the industry. I've been through numerous types of positions and roles within the field, from hardware documentation to software documentation, even some proposal writing with some QA thrown in there. So each has been a good element to add to the field and gives me a little bit more perspective about all the types of writing that we can do.
And as somebody, I'm involved in the educational side of things with my own classes that I teach at the University of Washington. And so one of the things students are always asking is, what types of skills they need to prepare, and should they specialize in one particular area or another. Sounds like you've built up a variety of skill sets. Do you have any thoughts with respect to that based on your own experience?
Yeah, I mean that's a great question with not always such a simple answer. I think it's best to try to get as much experience across disciplines and across different areas as possible. I think we're always a little bit behind on what's coming next, and we try to look at the future and see what's coming there. But I mean, it's so fast and it changes so quickly now. It's hard to tell what's going to be the next big thing in TechCom. But I would say, yeah, just to kind of get a vast array of experiences in the field, and that'll kind of help you with whatever niche you may settle into.
And what kinds of things are you doing in your work now?
So now I'm at Cisco Systems on the RTP campus, and I write for a team that writes security documentation for Cisco. So we cover a vast array of products at Cisco in the security space. From endpoint protection, DNS, malware. It's really a business group of acquisitions right now. And so we're bringing on new people and teams on all the time, which is exciting. I mean, it also has its challenges, but it's very exciting to get to work with new technologies and new people all the time under the Cisco umbrella.
And I'm not that familiar with how Cisco is set up with the types of activities you're involved in. Is it different in your location versus other ones, or are things kind of done under one strategy or one umbrella for tactics, or how are things set up there?
Yeah, good question. So there's going to be nuances at every place, obviously, but the idea is to have everyone working under the same set of rules, guidelines, style guides, and processes to produce the documentation. So we have people and team members all over the country and the world who kind of work under the same set of guidelines. And that's really one of the core things that we're working on right now. As I mentioned earlier, we are a business group of acquisitions, so it's really everyone has a different way of doing things when they come into the fold. So there is a project ongoing at Cisco Security right now to get everyone aligned on not only documentation practices, but UI design, UX elements to make our products look and feel the same way.
Yeah, I know we were talking earlier about some of the things that you're currently passionate about working on. So maybe expound a little bit on that aspect of all these new changes going on with your department.
Yeah, sure. So as part of that initiative in working on the product design, the look and feel, the UI elements, my TechCom team is involved in now writing text within the product UI itself. And that has opened up a lot of avenues to standardization across products. So how should a notification message be written and even look? Should it be the same as this success message, a confirmation message between all our products? So if a user is using one Cisco security product, but they have 4 in their entire suite of products, they want that experience to be the same, to get the same text in all of them, right? So that really brings up a bigger point on how machines talk to people, and that's something that I'm really passionate about right now. How should these messages be read to the users, right? And how do we also incorporate our brand language into that too? So there's a lot of elements that go into this, but really at the core, it's how do machines talk to people, and that's been something that I'm really passionate and working on a few initiatives on right now.
Well, you're going to bring some of your expertise into the conference that we're having October 4th and 5th at NC State in Raleigh, and your topic is a guide to contemporary PDF design with Madcap Flair. So why don't you talk a little bit about how you came around to developing that talk?
Sure. Yeah, so my team uses Madcap Flair to produce our documentation here. So we do produce online documentation. We've moved to a modern top nav portal for our users to be able to search on any type of topics or documentation that they want to be able to find. That being said, we also still produce traditional hardware, software installation manuals and guides. PDFs aren't going anywhere. I know people keep talking about online. People still love their PDFs. And so when we got into that and I was changing the templates and design of our documentation, PDFs, even though they are not a dying medium, people don't print them out as much as they used to, right? Everyone's looking at them digitally, whether it be on a computer, a tablet, mobile device, what have you. We're looking at them digitally. So I created a PDF design that really takes advantage of that aspect, right? So it cuts down on your traditional odd and even pages for a traditional manual that you're going to print out and maybe even bind or put in a book. It cuts down on the table of content matter, the empty pages, injecting pages here left and right, which has been kind of a staple of the PDF design in Madcap Flair for a while, and they have designs in their page layouts to specifically handle that. So and there's also some tips to make the introductory content a lot smaller and simpler, as well as the content at the back. So it's really for someone who's kind of scrolling on a page reading a PDF instead of actually looking at a printed PDF manual.
Well, that's going to be a really interesting topic. Obviously, PDFs are so ubiquitous, yet most PDFs are just your basic print dump from whatever source document you happen to be working in. Is that something? Is this technique something that you've been pioneering, or have you been finding some guidance from other areas?
A little bit of both. It's been kind of trial and error along the way. You know, some tips and tricks and best practices we found out from importing other types of documents and moving to publishing PDFs online, right? So it's really at the core of the bigger project that I've been trying to do with our team. Even publishing our online documentation is trying to keep one thing in mind, and that's keep it simple, okay? If you don't have to overcomplicate something, then why do it, right? We don't need, in developing our style sheets and developing our templates, we don't need all of these different styles. We don't need all these different page layouts that we're going to use that kind of do the same thing but a little bit different. Let's keep it simple, and so everyone understands it and everyone can use it better. So that's the whole goal behind this, and is to have a simple design that people can use that looks very sharp.
Well, it's going to be great to see you and work with you and hear about this work at the conference, again, coming up in Raleigh, October 4th and 5th. So we'll see you in just a few months.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe. Can't wait.
Thanks a lot, Nate. Bye.